All right, so we're going to look at factoring by grouping and factoring in general. Now, factoring by grouping relies on breaking apart distributions twice. It's best to show you what I mean. So we're going to look at number 54 in exercises 53 through 60. So we have x to the fifth plus 5x cubed minus 3x squared minus 15. So what we want to do is think of this as in pairs. Divide it in half mentally. Let's divide it in half mentally. Alright, so there's my little mental division. And in this front half, what is the GCF for these two terms? Well, they both have an x cubed. So bring out front an x cubed. And that leaves behind an x squared plus 5. Now on the second half, what do they all have in common? Well, negative 3 goes into negative 15 5 times. So we'll pull out a negative 3, and that leaves behind x squared plus 5. And when we factor by grouping, what we're looking for here is that these things in these parentheses are the same. Because this has created two terms, right? And if we think of it as when we first did the distribution property, a times b plus c equals ab plus ac, well, what's in these parentheses is the a. This is the b and the c. So if I spread it back out, I can actually write this. I can take my parentheses terms and pull it out front. A squared plus 5 times what's left over, BC, x cubed minus 3. That works out really, really nicely as a way of factoring these. Let's look at another example of factoring by grouping. And we'll go down to 58. So we have 6x squared minus 10x plus 3x minus 5. Well, if I divide this down the middle, my first half has a 2 and an x that is shared. So I'll bring out my 2x out front, and that leaves behind x minus 5. But my last half, the plus 3x minus 5, whoops, there's a 3 here, my bad, because 2 into 6 leaves a 3. The 3x minus 5 doesn't have anything pulling out. But we want 3x minus 5 in parentheses. Well, there is an invisible 1 hanging out in front of there, right? Because 1 times 3x is 3x, 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. And so this lets us group these. We can say 3x minus 5 is 2x plus 1. And if we factor by grouping, whatever's in the parentheses here, that's really what we're hoping to get in parentheses here. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So this is what we want to look for. We want to be able to get that out. And that's factoring by grouping, which is really nice and helps us get it. And you see, we've used it already when we were doing trinomials. And what we're going to do in the next videos, we're going to look at some of the more complicated forms of these, and we're going to look at when factoring doesn't just stop.